starting, isn't it?
Okay. Ready?
Quit shaking.
Who's here? Hurry! Oh, well, he was there before. And his son, the other 6 Be quiet! Always take a picture of me.
Take a picture of me or no?
Battery's dead.
Good.
I would like to welcome everyone to our farm. I'm Alan, in case you don't know me, because I don't know son. But I hope we have chairs for everyone here. That's why I asked you to sit down so we find out. I think I'm going to ask Peter to say great things.
Except the golfers who get to clean up all the time. And the dress code is casual. I'm not wearing anything but jeans. I don't want to see anybody else wearing anything. Yeah, the eating order here, I think we're good.
you're spooning up.
No. Oh, wait.
That's the way it happens. Jenny is a little older than I am, not much, but a little. And that's the way it really is.
And you were premature.
There was a pretty big German born in those days.
Well, thank God.
I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Betty and Alan Huck for allowing us to come up to their farm to have this occasion. It's a wonderful occasion to see all you folks here. It was Virginia that started the whole thing, basically, and I think she deserves a big round of applause. Also, by this wonderful, wonderful meal that we had here tonight, you know that. Thank you. Anybody who wants crop insurance, we got a real deal on crop insurance. You don't really have a meal like this without going through a whole lot of work and a whole lot of effort. And I think a special thanks will be given to Betty Huck. Everybody announced to me that we'll all be here next Sunday. So much will be here next Sunday as well, so just wanted you to know.
All right, that's a great possession inside.
There you know that Mary and Linda and everybody helped. Everybody has pitched in. That's really nice. Well, thank you, everybody.
Give your We're going to have some music.
Friday morning golfers.
We won't talk about the Friday morning golf. We're going to have some music and entertainment tomorrow night. I'm sort of going to be kind of half organizing a little bit. I'd like you to come forth to me if you have something that you'd like to do. I want everybody to think that you don't have to be bashful or shy. This is a family gathering. We're all going to do our thing. We're going to have a great time tomorrow night. And so let me know what it is that you want to do. You can say a poem. You can come up and have a little prayer if you like, or do whatever you decide that you want to do. We're expecting big things from the U.S. here. So come and speak to me later on and let me know what it is you'd like to do. Thanks very much.
You found one?
Yeah. I fell 3.
No.
Right here.
That 5 o'clock shadow.
No, it's true.
Any good-looking guys in there?
Yeah.
They're all married though. They're all married.
There's one that's up in Onion Lake.
It's single.
It's not Indian. No,
Who's
single.
Chef Charlie?
What are you doing, Rob?
Picture view. You're upside down now.
Yeah.
Get your kids
I did all the dishes.
adolescent. Mom, I said don't do that.
No, it's not.
Why did it buy the water?
What's that?
Do you know that Peter like picks the judge? Peter! Watch the windows! How long have you been here?
About a week.
That's what I meant. Candace! Candace! Oh no.
Put that hose down.
Lisa?
I told him that.
Out of the window.
Get away from the windows! Jesus. That guy must think I'm a real bitch. See the way he's young.
Let's see a little pose.
That's pose for the movie cameras. Do you want to?
Life ain't perfect. Brown hair, right there. No, he has, I think.
Who is he anyways? I don't know who he is.
I don't know, but he's a retard.
There goes Candace.
He's with Peter, right?
Peter's a retard too. Oh.
What? God, look at all those kids.
Oh, they can go off. They know.
Well, now that they've been on there so long, they should wait until there's
Yeah, these kids gotta get tired sometime.
But Rob doesn't have to go on now too. And
I just know, because Michael is a good looking kid.
Michael, you're cute.
Would I be second cousin to her? No, yeah. No, would I be 10? Okay. So that's like that, right there. You know what, I drove on the highway. Yeah, that's let me drive. I know. I was driving here. Still doesn't let me drive. I was driving on the highway. There's so, like, I'm saying, you want to drive here, don't you? Well, you want to drive.
Kids should all be shot.
Hi.
Poor boy.
Hi.
Should be in there somewhere.
There. Should follow them and record their conversation.
Yeah, just walk backwards in front of us.
Hey, sit back down. Sit. Everybody look. Okay.
Robbie, get out of here. I'll kill you.
My bed, yeah.
I'm taping your conversation, so if you're going to talk about someone, now's the time to do it.
We're saying. Our brother's, I'm uncle.
So if you want to talk about
You
something.
just give me that.
So
You better hurry up, it's running.
Hey, that's where the water's coming from.
There, I got you.
You're done.
Well, how long are you supposed to hold it?
I don't know.
You got to take it off. Oh, it's still recording.
Is it?
Right now I'm recording you.
Take that and put it in the video recorder. Well, it's sure nice meeting you, Alex.
Yeah, we'll see you again tomorrow, the next day.
Sure nice meeting you.
You gonna stick around? Hi there, kid.
I'm gonna go in when it's dry. Okay, thank you.
I'll see where Esther is.
Chandra, shut your mouth. I don't like you.
I like you either, Lisa.
I hate you, Robbie.
That's gonna get wet.
Hi, Tasha. Hi.
Hey, kid.
I'm not a kid. I look at the rainbow.
You're not a big person. Big people out there.
It's just a tarp on top. Oh, really?
Well, you don't break through. If no one takes a jackknife to the water supply.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing now?
Making lots of money. 8-week courses or whatever, or turn it on. Get the hell out of here.
That's a separate account. Yeah, Mike's name. Mike's gonna be a pilot in here.
Mike is a pilot. I was going to be able to fly the plane.
Helicopter crash.
No, just 2 times.
That helicopter crash.
Yeah, helicopter
Were you there?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That plane went off the end of the runway.
I was there then too. Both times. I think they were just trying to get out of my way.
Yeah, we know who caused that.
Just do the wet field.
Well, I never skidded off the
There was a
my
Cessna.
plane.
I didn't mention it.
Chase them off.
The Cessna was right.
Failed to mention that on the radio.
Sheila's still there? Yeah, she's got a picture of it.
You hear about the Conquest bar? Guy transferred it down.
What's that?
Conquest bar, guy tried to put it down.
Yeah, I heard on the radio something about that, too.
Friend of Tim.
Did I meet him at Herschel?
I told her to take gas, pour it all the way around the bar, open the front door, dump in gas.
What was that over? He got kicked out or something?
Oh, they're supposed to be down tomorrow, right?
Tonight?
Well, they're coming on the bus.
Oh, someone said they were up and down or something.
I don't know. Kenny said they were.
You check.
He's in Edmonton, I know that.
How old are you? Smart.
Do you like that guy taking a picture of you?
Wave at the camera.
Say
See
hi,
yourself
Mom.
on TV.
Say hi, Mom.
Wave it out.
You get to go watch yourself on
Shyness
TV after
attack.
that. That's what Rick says about.
Yeah.
Don't kick your feet.
Chandra, please don't film me this morning.
She's just practicing.
This,
It's
unless
the
you
guy
want
with the
to.
black and gold cap.
Robbie, don't be stupid.
What else do the other relatives now? Doesn't matter. People don't know them. When is everybody leaving? Sure, now you're quiet, Mike. Tim, make some toast. A little action here.
Action shot. They got a big garden out there.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Christopher, here's the dog.
Want me to take this? Whoa! This over. Hi, little princess. Ah! Whoa! Okay. Where's mine, Chandra? There's some new people here. Are ya?
Four in there, eh? Oh, yeah.
I want to. Get well done.
Lynn, this camera has a time on it too, so we know what time you started drinking.
Timer on it, so she knows what time to start drinking.
And it's still gonna be Uncle Al. And Grandpa.
Walter, isn't it?
Walter.
Yeah.
So who are the women?
Invested.
Really?
Probably
Okay.
Catherine.
Yeah. Maybe. Or no, that's Amelia.
Okay, she's
This
Marlene's
looks
date.
like-
This looks like Catherine.
That's Annie Esther. Is it?
I'm pretty sure it's Invested. Darlene and Roy's now.
Okay.
This one.
Are you leaving without us? Aren't you gonna wait for us? Let's wait for the grab. Come on in. For your great grab.
Okay. That's their mom.
Yeah.
No.
Where's Lisa today, Chandra?
Okay, you ain't moving.
Yeah, you're not going to get no action shots. So. No matter how long you.
What did you say about the
Candace, Reagan, Edward, Pat, and Jamie. Jamie, come up to the stage, please. Here comes Jamie.
Edward, up! Find your wife.
Get together, you guys. Get together a little bit.
You ready to go?
It should be. Got a red dot on the back? Yep, just focus it. Pump it. Two. Hold the tight.
All the Pepins there.
Are you all there now?
There's no Oliver. Scoot in there or behind. Yeah.
Oh, you're too tall. Okay.
Pauline, that are represented here have family members here today, and maybe just going down the list, we have, first of all, descendants of Catherine Huck. If you descendants, please stand. And Julia. And Aunt Pauline, and I think Max is next. Uncle Alex? And accept this award for having the most grandchildren. Okay, the next award is for who has the most children. And we'll have to work at this one. Okay, the next award, who has the most great-grandchildren? Uncle Alec, how many? Great-grandchildren.
Hey, what are you doing?
Okay, I think the next award.
Wait, stand back. Come on.
Let's see it.
Okay, the family having the most members. I guess we added those up ourselves, and it's Ed Huck. Ed Huck family having the most members here. 28 people here from Dad's family. Oh, Brokey's?
There was 2 less than
Brokey's had 26. Oh, and here's an award to honor someone that really wanted to be here today but couldn't make it. To Aunt Elizabeth, in recognition of reaching the age of 97 and wanting to be here with us. Could Pauline come up and accept this award? Pauline here. Pauline, I often watch Willard Scott on the weather reports in the morning from the U.S. Television network, and in about 2 years' time we'll probably see her name mentioned on national TV in the U.S. Okay, the next award is for the youngest person here, and I think we've also got that one. It's Christopher Condon. Christopher Condon. What's the age? 18 months? 15 months? Where's Christopher? Very good, Christopher. Okay, award of merit presented to Mr. Harry Wilson in recognition of having the hairiest and the best beard. Okay, this was a particularly tough award to come up with because I think there's lots of people that really could qualify for this one. It's presented to Butch Frex in recognition of being the smoothest talker. That's a polite way of saying the best BSer. Here's another one. This one is really true. This is an award presented to Oliver Pepin in recognition of being the cousin that most resembles the Huck brothers. Well, there's no problem picking the winner of this award. I think this person won this one hands down. It's presented to Auntie Pauline in recognition of non-stop talking during the reunion. Auntie Pauline, could you come forward, please? Auntie Pauline, keep quiet, come forward. Can you stop talking and come forward, please?
I should be up there.
We have another award here in recognition of having the largest nos. John Gorky.
Bob can't announce because it is presented to Bob, Huck and family in recognition of traveling the farthest to attend our reunion.
This was another one that was really quite difficult to select. I think there's probably several of us that could have been considered. It's in recognition of having the baldest, shiniest head, and it's Max. Pauline, could you come forward? Item on our agenda this evening, we had something that is called Remember When Session. And I'd like to invite people to come up and start telling a few stories. I think it's many times we've been sitting around in smaller groups telling stories on each other. Here's your chance to get back at them, not having heard what was said about you before. I myself remember a lot of things. When I grew up in this country, I've been away from here for about, I guess it's about 20 years now. But this is always, and always will be my home. I, for example, remember when I had to milk cows. I remember when the cows' tails used to come loose when I was milking cows. And if anyone's not tried that, you're welcome to it. I remember things like listening to the radio and listening to fights on the radio in our house before even we had electricity in our house. I remember having gas lanterns lighting our house. I remember riding a horse to school, or having to take a horse to school. And you know, I think the interesting thing is that I don't think I'm that old yet. You know, that hasn't been that long ago. So we have been progressing a great deal in the last few years. I'd like to start this off by asking my dad to come forward and maybe talk a little bit about the family tree. I think the tree, of course, is something like 97 people now, and there's a fair bit of interest in describing exactly how this whole tree fits together. How the people in the United States fit in with the people up here in Canada. I'd also like to acknowledge some of the work that my dad has been doing in trying to put together a bit of a history and to try and fill in some of the details of the family tree. I think that is really superb effort and something that will be very much value to all of us as we sort of grow older and our next generation comes along. I think very few families really have a really good solid history. Go a long ways back in their family trees, particularly when you start immigrating out of countries like Russia, where the records and the information is very, very difficult to get. Dad?
Bob has to go to a meeting in London next week, and I hope he doesn't continue this speech in London. This was sprung on me. First of all, I'd like to extend Jack and Jane Schultz from Colorado were unable to come due to sickness. And I'd like to extend their greetings to us and wish us the best of luck. Jane Schultz has compiled a history book on our mother's side of the family. And anyone who's interested in this would contact me, and I'll send your name down to her and she'll get in contact with you. I think the book would probably be about $10. My father came to the United States from Russia in 1902, and they lived in Lincoln, Nebraska for 6 years. I'm not going to say too much about this, but one of the highlights, I suppose, to them was the flood they had in Lincoln, Nebraska. And they had 3 feet of water in the house, and they were going to the hill where the schoolhouse was, and my mother was carrying Adam in her arms, and she stumbled and fell, and he fell into the water, and she was pretty fast, and she got him back again. That's how come Ellen and his family are still here. And the connection of our family to the people from the United States here today, Pauline and Virginia are on my dad's side of the family, and his sister's children, Elizabeth Geyer. And Roy Schultz is my mother's sister's son. I think I got that all right. Okay? Or Schaff, yeah, not Schultz, Schaff. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. My father and his family were the only ones that came to Canada. The first child died on Ellis Island, and 3 more were born in Lincoln, Nebraska. They came to Canada in 1908, and 5 more were born in Canada. I was the middle one of the last 5, and I tell you, that was a hard spot to be in. Polly liked to play tricks, and Max will testify to that, you see. I took a lot of gaff from these guys. She was forever throwing my new caps into the biffy. And I had to take all the gaff of all the trouble that Alec got into, because he was older than me and he blamed everything on me. So I had to take all the gaff. My youngest brother Walter was 5 years younger than me, and he was the baby of the family, so we had to treat him pretty good. But I had my moment of glory the day the bull got killed by lightning. I waited a long time for that. I was out in the yard, I was about 12 years old, and there was a terrible storm come up, and the lightning and the thunder hit, and I fell flat on my face, and I jumped up and headed for the house. And I tell you, Ben Johnson wouldn't have caught me that day with all his stories that he did. So I got the record for the 100-yard dash. That's my moment of glory. The last year, I'll tell a little story. Last year, Mary and I had our 47th anniversary, and she woke up in the morning and she said to me, "Do you still love me?" I says, "When it changes, I'll let you know." You all know a few years ago, my wife and I went overseas, and we were in Scotland. And we saved hard all our life, we saved our money. So we thought we'd go for an airplane ride. And I had done a lot of Jewing, you know, with the implement dealers, and I Jewed this guy down in the price. He said, £20. And I said, "Well, no," I says, "I'll pay you £5 if we don't holler on this airplane ride. And if we holler, we'll pay you £20. So we got up in the airplane, and when he got up there, he made the loops and all kinds of things. When we got down on the ground, we landed, and boy, he said, "You done pretty good. You didn't yell or anything." As I damn near did when my wife fell out. Today, when we were taking pictures of our family, and I seen all this here, I almost felt ashamed of myself that I was responsible. We were responsible for all these kids. I thank you.
Thanks, Dad. Okay, I'd like you to start thinking about coming up here and start making a few stories yourselves. I remember, for example, when I moved first down east, I've been down east now working in the Toronto and Ottawa area, mostly the Ottawa area, for almost 20 years. When I first went down there, I started telling some of my eastern friends about about having, for example, to take a horse to school. They found this kind of a bit hard to accept, and they really regarded this as really the wild frontier. And then I think I got a visit one time by my shy and retiring brother Jerry, and they really were convinced then that it was the wild frontier. I think Uncle Alex and Roy and my other brothers had a walk through the pasture the other day, and in spite of about 500 pounds of lead and a whole bunch of binder twine, there's still lots of gophers left out there. Could I invite Auntie Esther up to say a few words?
Girls, do you know what it's like to marry a Huck? Yeah. How many know?
Just good luck.
Well, I married a Huck, and I'm telling you, the stories I could tell about Eddie and Alec are many. In fact, I've made quick notes, and it fills two sides. Okay. Eddie and Alec, sure, they were 3.5 or 4 years apart, but they thought alike. And Eddie's right. When Alec and he got into trouble, it was easy for Alec, a little older, to enforce the idea that he was not responsible. For instance, Grandma, I got some apples, and they were bought by the barrel. And Eddie and Alec were dying for apples. But if anybody knows our Grandma Huck, you didn't get more than one apple in your lunch, and perhaps none on Sunday and Saturday. So they were scarce. So the boys would, Eddie goes down in the basement, and Alec goes outside the open window, and Alec schools them, and she says, "Now, you throw them up and I'll catch them." And he did. Eddie was stupid enough to throw them up, and Alec caught them. Who got caught? Not Alec, Eddie. So, then, for instance, I was, Alec and Eddie were great windmill fans. So, Alec and I had a radio, a really old-fashioned kind of radio, and Alec is going to hook it up, and Eddie comes down to get the windmill going, and these devils, you know what they did? I'm highly pregnant with you, Joan. And they say, Esther, you come here and hold on to this wire. We want to know if it's alive. It was alive. Those are the kinds of things those boys did. Alex still swears that Eddie tried to steal all his girls. I don't know about all of his girls, but I know that Eddie phoned me up one day. But he didn't exactly say he was Eddie. He was Alec, and the line he was giving me, I'm telling you, I caught on really fast because Alec didn't talk like that. Then there are the stories they tell me, at least Alec tells me. So they went, one day they had this beautiful straw stack to play in. And Eddie and Alec decided it would be kind of nice to have a fire. For what, I don't know. So they started a fire in the straw stack, at the very edge, of course. But guess what? Grandpa caught them, and that time they both got it. So Alec tells me. Is that right, Eddie?
Can't remember.
You're just as bad as the criminals. They plead ignorance. That is usually a sign that they're guilty. So, another thing. One Sunday, everybody went away. Everybody. But there was this nice old Maxwell car. I think that's what Alec said it was. So Eddie and Alec are going to start this Maxwell. And they go out and they put it in forward, and then they jam it into reverse, and they get the gears meshed. Next morning, Adam was going to try, their big brother is going to try and start the car. I don't know, Adam said, it won't go. Guess what? They meshed the gears, and then that poor old Maxwell stood there the rest of its life. For Adam's kids, I want to tell you what a handsome devil he was. I said I was only going to talk about Eddie and Alec, but I can't go without talking about Adam. He was just the best looking guy, about 6 foot tall and dark, and really a nice, and the girls liked him. Oh, did the girls like him. And he had a nice horse, and he used to disappear for great long times, like a couple of weeks, or maybe a month. I could go on and on about stories, but I'm sure that somebody else has another story. I just want to say something about marrying into the Huck family, Huck as we were known until we went to that big city of Calgary. It's kind of nice. Grandma Huck was just a super person. She was very prim and proper. You didn't tell Grandma you were going to have a baby because she knew before you did almost that you were. You couldn't, it wasn't one of those things you talked about. But she was just a really super lady. When she didn't approve of anything, her mouth went straight across. And so you knew when to stop before you had to stop, before you got into real trouble. Now, Pa, he really liked his daughter-in-laws, always did. And he treated us just super perfect. So not only did we marry kind of nice guys, we married nice in-laws, didn't we, girls? The other thing that I just have to tell one more story about Eddie. When Alec and I got engaged, you did everything through Eaton's catalog. So Alec chooses a ring for me, and we were poring over this one out of the Eaton's catalog, and we did not have very much money. So the ring was the rings were $17, and I still wear the one small, very small diamond in one of my, I have had it reset, of course, because the ring wore out. But we get this ring, and I'm thrilled to death with this engagement ring. And what do you know? It's too big. So Alec wraps it up and sends it back, and to exchange it for a smaller size. It comes back in the mail again, and Eddie, that devil, he opened the second ring and he thought Alec was getting engaged all over the town. He didn't think it was all for Esther. So, and that's true, he really did. He opened the ring and then he had to wrap it up so it wouldn't be seen. So I could go on and tell you all kinds of stories, but I think maybe I better stop now. Thanks.
That's enough then, Esther. I'd like to invite anyone else to come forward who may like to relate a story. Does anyone else want to volunteer? Prominent of these Indian fighters was my cousin Roy. He spent a lot of time going around the farm playing and killing a lot of Indians. One time he was busy away, I understand, in the pump house, pumping water, concentrating pretty hard because this was a pretty, of course, intellectual kind of a job. And he was thinking about these Indians and how he was fighting them, and all of a sudden Aunt Hillarine came into the pump house dressed in a big kimono. Roy turned around and saw her and thought she was an Indian, and he fainted dead away. That's how the story goes anyway, Roy.
That wanted to ring a bell. But I won't tell you that story because my brother Dennis tells that story much better than I do. As Bob mentioned, we grew up on a farm south of Luceland here. We never had the power till 1954 or 1956, whenever it came through, and we all had to use our imaginations a great deal in order to sort of play together and have fun together. I guess the kids nowadays watch a lot of television and they do other things to entertain themselves, but I was born in 1942, and I remember a lot of things on the farm that I treasure very much. One of the things that was told to me, and I never learned this until about 5 years ago, and I guess it's a story about my dad and Walter King. Now, I don't think my dad knows that I know this story. For those of you who want to close your ears, you can sort of keep your hands ready close to your ears. But they used to play tricks on Halloween night, and as the story goes, the way Walter King told me, Walter King was a young fellow who lived in the same area that my dad did, and they went to school together, and when they were a little older, they learned all the things about magnetos and the shocks that magnetos can give if you have a wire strung across the screen or whatever. So what they did, they went down to, on Halloween night, they went down to Ben Thorson's farm, and I don't know what year this took place, don't have a clue, maybe in the 30s, was it be about 1930, Dad? They went down to Ben Thorson's farm and they took an old window screen and they put them on the bottom of the Ben Thorson's toilet, and they hooked a magneto onto this window screen. And they waited for an appropriate moment when Mrs. Thorsness came out to use the bathroom. When they heard the proper sound, they pushed the thing down on the magneto and they gave a tremendous shock to the screen. And there was a loud scream and a rip and a tear, and the door came right off the toilet. And Mrs. Thorsness ran up towards the house and fell because she had things around the bottom of her feet. And they got so scared they ran off before Mr. Thorsness came out to find them. My brother Dennis, and Bob, and myself were down there. Lauren wasn't around quite then yet. I think he was being thought of now and then, but he just wasn't quite around. And we were playing Cowboys and Indians, and of course we used to get the Western producer, and they had all the funnies in them, Rusty Riley, Hopalong Cassidy, a Lone Ranger, and a few of these characters, and we used to identify ourselves with these characters that were in the newspaper, and we ran out of people. Ellen was Hopalong Cassidy, I was Roy Rogers, Bob was Gene Autry. We had nobody for Dennis, so we picked a local farmer here, a local rancher, and he was Raymond Meyer. So Dennis became Raymond Meyer, and he got shot about a half an hour later. We had another scene in which we were in Ellen and Ellen's and Ginny's and Shirley's place, and the scene was that we had a bar room set up there, and the girls went and got some Freshie, and they had these drinks set up on the bar, and the cowboys had their pistols on, and they would walk into the bar and demand a drink and play cards and whatnot. And Ginny was the barroom girl. Where is Ginny? Ginny was the barroom girl, and she came out with a little red belt right around here. She was about 8 or 9 years old, and of course, you know, like Ginny was dancing and serving the drinks, and we were doing the thing, and I don't know what happened, whether Ellen pulled it off or just what happened, but the belt slipped. It might have been Bob here that reached over and gave the belt a little tug, and it just slipped down, just for an instant. But we got our first look at and Jenny was so embarrassed, she went into the house and never came out for 2 days. It was, I don't know, Jack Daniels, I think. It was sure powerful stuff, and he was out digging a pit right out in the back of the area where he was hunting on our land there, and he drove a 1956 pink and white Ford. It was a real beautiful car, and we used to always love it when Don came out because it was always exciting. And once when we were out digging the pit, he looked this way and that way, and Dad and Uncle Adam were around, so he said, "Here, Jerry, have a little drink of whiskey here." He took a slug out of it, the bottle, and this is my first drink of whiskey. I don't know how old I was, 5 or 6 years old. I tipped up the bottle and I couldn't talk for about 4 hours. The last story I'm going to tell you, we had to use our imaginations a lot when we were kids on the farm, and my dad taught me an awful lot about music. He played the violin, and he used to play in a band himself, and he used to have me play with him on the piano chord to his violin playing. And we used to spend almost, in the winter time and the Saturday afternoons, a lot of time was spent sitting there playing the piano and playing music, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. The other story I want to tell you, as I said, we had to use our... One more story. We had to use our imaginations an awful lot. We were kids, and one day I was down in the basement, and I had learned how to echo my voice. And I decided I wanted to do a little more echoing with my voice, so I went into the potato room, and I threw my voice around in there for a while. I couldn't get the right echo, and then I went down into another area of the basement, and there was an old churn there, butter churn. It was about this tall, it was made of porcelain, and I threw my voice down there, and man, a living, it just came bouncing back in there. It was a great sound, so I went and put my head down a little further, and geez, another great sound came down, so I stuck my head right inside the churn, and I hollered down there for a little while, and I couldn't get my head back out. I was down there for about an hour or so until Ma finally came down. I don't know what happened, Ma. I was pretty young then. Did you rip my ears off? Is that why this one ear sticks out a little bit? But that's my last story. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Jerry. And that's all I got is pointed head. I invite anyone else to come forward and relate.
I got to tell you a little chicken story. We had a bunch of old chickens on the farm, and the wife was a real dealer. She'd deal anything for anything. So I come home from work one day, and I drove into the yard, and here Mary and this complete stranger were chasing the chickens around the yard. I thought, what in the world is going on here? I've had a lot of experience with Ma, and I was wondering what she was doing this time. Now, she made a deal with this guy. She traded all those old chickens on their last legs for a set of wherever knives. And we still got the knives, but the chickens are gone a long time ago. I don't know what the guy did with the chickens because they were on their last legs.
What is it, the spokes and wheels? What is it, spokes and hubs and spokes? Will have appreciated some of the stories, and this is the author of them here.
Hi, everybody. I wasn't going to say anything. He asked me to say something. I said, no way. But I had a reason for saying that, you know. I want to be begged, but he didn't beg me too much. So I had to wait until the master speakers were off on, and then I had to come up here and say a few words. I won't say very much. I'm not going to take up your time. Is this close enough or too far away?
Right there.
That's right there, eh? Okay, the rest of you didn't, the rest of the speakers didn't ask that, you know. And some of them were too close. I hate to, you're going to get too close, and some of the others were too close too. And they were pretty loud, you know. So here's a lesson right now. I hope I'm not spoiling it. In any case, I got to tell you one little story. Now, somebody said that I was the instigator of a lot of things that Brother Ed and I did. But you know, that isn't altogether true. He got caught the most. He got the blame for most of the time. So I think maybe it was partly his fault, but mostly his fault too, you know. This particular time, I don't know why, but Dad thought he had licked me. And he didn't, what's that noise back there? And he didn't, and he let Ed off completely. So this is pretty serious, I guess, because Dad had a black stake. And he got this, it was kind of a whip for using a buggy, you know. When the horse is going too slow, you just crack it over his head. So I wasn't too afraid of that whip because most of the time Dad just cracked it over his head. But when he started after me with it, I ran. And I started running around the house. And of course he was a lot older than I was. And I ran so fast that I started to catch up to him around the house. And there he was going as fast as he could go, trying to catch me, had the whip up all ready to bang me, you know. And I thought, well, I better do something about this to get out of this. So we had a wheat field right past the chicken house on that farm there. And I headed into the wheat field. And I got into the wheat field before Dad could spot me from around the corner of the house. He didn't really know where I was, I guess. And after I got the wheat into the wheat field, I'm ashamed to say that I crawled a little ways on my hands and knees, you know, to get away further. This is a true story, you know. This isn't made up like most of these stories you heard tonight. This is the honest to goodness truth. So I didn't like that whip, and I stayed there. And Mother talked to Dad for a while. They had supper, and I was out in the wheat field yet. I'm not a coward, you know, but I didn't like that whip. I didn't like what it could do to me. So finally Mother came out, and she says, okay. She said, it's time to come in and eat. She says, I cooled Dad off. And I went in, and I had my supper. And Dad never even looked at me. I was fine. But Ed and I did get into quite a bit of trouble. We didn't like that fire that my wife talked about, and almost got into the straw stack right beside the barn. And if it got into there, it would have burned the barn down, I'm quite sure. I don't know why we did something like that, but we did. We. Now, another thing I want to say is that it's a good idea for you younger people to ask questions of us, the older ones, as to what our history is. Because I don't think I did enough, I don't know about Ed, we didn't ask our parents enough questions as to their origin, where they came from, what they did. And if we did, I guess they didn't answer. We don't really know too much about them, about their life in Russia, for example. I know they came from the Volga region. I know that Dad used to go down to the Volga River, and he used to swim a lot. He was a good swimmer. And but other than that, they were too busy. So make sure, you young people, that you're not too busy to keep on pestering your folks and finding out about their history. And don't just listen to it. Write it down, like some of you are now. You're doing a good job. And furthermore, for one more thing, I want to thank the people who originated this endeavor. It is a big task, and I live quite a way from Calgary, some other of you do too, so we didn't have a part in organizing it. But the ones around here, you did all the work. And I want to pass my thanks on for me, my family, and for the other families that were way out and didn't do too much, to all the rest of you. I thank you very much. And thank you.
I think I'll move back here just to get away from the ringing on the speakers for a minute. I think we can probably conclude then for this thing and maybe get on with the musical show later on. Do you know what time we should start that? Pierre Perron, who has been working very hard at the bar. Merci beaucoup, Pierre. There's I gather a video being made of this reunion, and will be available if you see Chandra Huck. I think it's $20. Chandra, could you stand up? I guess everyone should know you. $20 for a video, and I think there's also a family tree that's being put together, and I think this is kind of a valuable document for all of us, and I would certainly like to get a copy of that. It kind of brings us all together.
If everyone's seen it, and I think you have, if there's anything I've got down wrong or that I can add, let me know and I'll do that so I can get it all on the trees I'm going to send out to you.
Okay, another thing, I gather there's also some hats and mugs left.
Set of the Luseland and District history books available for anybody that's interested in them. We've reduced the price down to $40 Canadian funds and 34 US funds.
Okay, thank you very much. I guess that wraps this up, and if we could have some help to put the tables away, we can get the music started in about half an hour.
Hi, I wanted to organize a baseball game for tomorrow, so if anybody wanted to play around 1 o'clock.
It's a little earlier, but as we were talking here this evening, I just wonder if maybe you'd mind if we just bowed our heads for just 1 minute in recognition of the ones that aren't here tonight. And I especially mean Dad, Adam, because I loved him so much, and I'm sure Ed's Mom, and Aunt Amelia, John. So let's just take one moment for a silent prayer for those that can't be here tonight. Thank you.
I knew I'd range it.
Where?